SportsGrid coach. Welcome to the show.
Ariel, listen, I got a bone to pick with you. Don't ever think anytime you. By the way, we did not color coordinate this. I just want to let people know that we did not do this. But anytime you want Coach Young to come on the prop queen pod, I got to say that a couple of times fast. It's my pleasure to come on. How are you?
It is an honor to have you, Coach, especially because your specialty is women's hoops. It's what you've coached for a long time. Before I ask you any questions about the WNBA tonight, just give people some background on your coaching and why people should listen to how good and knowledgeable you are about the sport.
Well, thank you for the plug. So yeah, I'm a long-time high school and college women's basketball coach. Spent 4 years at Monmouth University as a lead associate head coach and recruiting coordinator. I have a lot of ties to women's basketball. A lot of friends in the women's basketball game. I have know a couple of big-time coaches. So for me, it's a little bit differently. As someone that has coached the sport and obviously still trains a lot of top players in the Jersey area, a lot of top guards and forwards. I kind of have a little bit of an inner working knowledge of the league. And really, folks, it's a league that I don't think the books know how to really handicap. They base it a little bit on, maybe what they think, what's happened in the past. They don't really look at analytics. They don't really look at how things are different. For instance, like the impact of a Natasha Cloud going to New York Liberty, what an impact I thought that was going to make for a team like that. How a team may struggle with young players like a Paige Beckers going to the Dallas Wings. How the Phoenix Mercury may be better than people think because of getting Alyssa Thomas and Satu Sabali. So hopefully I'll be able to come on with Ariel a couple of times a week and kind of give a little bit of my betting knowledge when it comes to the WNBA.
We love it because I know from everyone I know out in Vegas, this is the market to attack if you want to make money. It's only been a few days. The league started on Friday, right? WNBA?
Yeah,
so what have you noticed from just the first weekend that people could probably attack trend-wise for the next round of games?
Well, I think it's just you got to look at teams that may struggle. Like, for instance, you can look at tomorrow night, for instance, Las Vegas is laying 12 points on the road at the Connecticut Sun. The Connecticut Sun were decimated after this offseason. Stephanie White went and left the team and went to coach Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark. DeWanna Bonner is with her with the Indiana Fever. Brianna Jones, is down in Atlanta. Alyssa Thomas is with the Phoenix Mercury. So it really leaves Marina Mabry. Tina Charles comes back. But this is a tough spot. So one of the things I'll tell you right off the bat, lay the minus 12 points. If you look at a team like Las Vegas, a prideful team that really was in the game with the Liberty until early in the fourth quarter, midway fourth quarter, when Natasha Cloud kind of took over the game with Brianna Stewart, lay the 12 points with the Las Vegas Aces tomorrow night. It's a big number. And then obviously you got to look at other things like the emergence of Caitlin Clark. People are going to look at Caitlin Clark and her scoring. Be careful with this, folks, because you have literally between, Caitlin Clark, bringing back Kelsey Mitchell, going to get DeWanna Bonner, having Aaliyah Boston, going to get Natasha Howard. Ariel, that's 5 ladies that can give you 20 on any given night. Maybe stay away initially from the Caitlin Clark's scoring props. Maybe look at assists plus rebounds, double market sneaky play tomorrow night. It's -9 right now for Indiana to get the win over the Atlanta Dream at home. Her double market's like -190. What you should look at possibly, look at FanDuel, player performance doubles. Caitlin Clark, double, which you can get any of 2 to 3 ways, points, rebounds, and assists, and Indiana Fever to win. Now you're looking at even money.
I like that Effie brought this up. He said Clark assist should be a market to attack. What do you think?
Yeah, Effie's absolutely right with looking at Caitlin Clark's assist props. I mean, I took her for a double, and she obviously got a triple-double. So the problem, Effie, is that you're going to look at Caitlin Clark's assist numbers starting to go over to 10.5, 11.5 because of the number of players. And if you watch the game on Saturday versus Chicago Sky, she had 10 assists. They blew like 4 lamps. Like 4 lamps were blown. She should have had about 14 or 15. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky. So that's why I think try to find those player performance doubles, double, and then you get the win. Try to find your way to even money.
There are games tonight on the slate. We have one, not games, just one game. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
The Storm are taking on the Wings. Storm laying 3.5, total 166. You like the Storm -3. Why are you laying the points?
Well, listen, I know that it was a beatdown of epic proportions. The Storm, and it's 3.5 now. So do shop around, folks. Obviously, as Ariel and I are talking, they lost big, 81-59 to the Phoenix Mercury team that I am really, really high on. The game got away from them early. They shot extremely poorly, except for Skylar Diggins. Here's the thing, folks. Dallas is going to struggle this year. Don't look at the name of Paige Beckers and say, oh, they got Paige Beckers. They're going to go win themselves. Paige is going to do great. But you got to look at the fact that you have Paige and Enrique Wumbuala. You have a little bit with Melissa Smith. They don't have the front court play. Kiera McCowan only played 5 minutes. She was so ticked off. She didn't even go to the huddle after the game. She just walked to the locker room. She's so damn mad. So to me, I like the Seattle Storm bounce back spot because they're already out in the area, -3. And Yeka Awumake, double-double, plus 150. Had 7 rebounds in the opening night game, but only played 23, almost 24 minutes. I see an uptick in minutes. Sear getting the double-double for Onyeka. And then because of the fact that Megaber's going to split time with Gabby Williams, Onyeka's playing time is affected less than Megaber's. Look at Onyeka Awumake, a double-double at plus 150.
I love that plus 150. We have a question from Daniel. Does Kelsey Plum look profitable being with the Sparks now?
She gonna get buckets. I mean, that's just saying right there. She gonna get buckets, Daniel. Bro, I'll tell you right now. I mean, she had an absolute masterpiece opening night. Now, listen, game number 2, she went against obviously Minnesota Lynx, was arguably one of the best defensive in the NBA, but she's going to have a lot of shots. When you look at the Sparks, it's a 3-headed monster, right? It's Kelsey Plum, it's Tarika Hamby, and it's Rakia Jackson. But the person with the ball in their hands is going to be Kelsey Plum. She's back on the West Coast. Look for Kelsey Plum to have huge scoring nights in the WNBA this season.
I love that when I listen to you speak about this, and I know you love basketball all in all. When I hear you speak WNBA over even the NBA, you hear the passion. Like my passion, people say that comes out for baseball. Yours comes out in the WNBA. I am loving this. I don't think I've smiled so big listening to someone talk about the WNBA before. I'm learning so much. This is super, super helpful stuff. Caitlin Clark, just going back to her real quick. I know that there was the whole issue with her and Angel Reese this weekend. What were your thoughts on the flagrant?
Listen, let me just make sure. Is this like a Disney show, or if I slip a curse word, am I going to get you in trouble?
No.
Okay.
No one pays me for this. I do this out of the goodness of my heart.
And God bless you, girl, for doing it. The whole thing was bullshit. I'll just say it right off the bat. Number one, Angel Reese should have been called for a push-off first. Number two, it wasn't a Caitlin Clark foul. It was a Caitlin Clark stare. But then the stare got Angel Reese to turn around and overreact. And the whole thing, folks, is an overreaction by everyone, including the referees. But I get it. They had to get the game under control because it was getting bad, and they were probably nervous based off already the history that's taken place between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. But here's the crazy thing about it. You know who's happy as hell right now? The fucking WNBA. Why? Because the game is 48 hours ago, and we're still talking about it. It's a big story right now. So the WNBA, who does so many things wrong with their scheduling, they got it right. What did they do? Friday night, one of the top 5 stars in the league, and Paige Beckers, put them on Friday night. Saturday, what do you have? 2 premier franchises, Vegas, New York. First game. Second game, biggest rivalry, obviously, between Caitlin Clark and obviously Angel Reese. But at the end of the day, that's what they wanted. They wanted ratings. They wanted people talking about it. And WNBA, mission accomplished. Remember, folks, they're probably going to go to a lockout after this year with the WNBA. So let's enjoy the season while we have it this year.
I love any kind of rivalry like this. I know that Angel Reese gets a lot of blowback for her end of the rivalry because she's kind of the villain and Caitlin Clark's the hero. But look at Trae Young in the NBA. He embraces that at the Garden. He even tweeted out over the weekend, Trae Young, that Oklahoma City Thunder fans are louder than Knicks fans come at him. Like, you got to embrace the rivalry, coach.
Oh, it's all part of it. I mean, it's what do they call it? Cinema, right? It's cinema, and part of a league like the WNBA that's trying to get people going to their games is, think about it, folks. It's a summertime, right? Ariel's in New York City. I'm in Jersey. I spend as much time at the beach club drinking as much beer as possible on the weekends and the weekdays. Catch me out there if you can. But my point is that they got to find ways, Ariel, to get people to get viewership.
Yeah.
Viewership is big for them. Ratings are big for them. Remember, folks, the WNBA is yet to turn a true profit in 25 years. They're banking on this year being another jump in ratings. They're off to a good start. But the main thing I want to say is when this lockout happens, you got to take care of the players. The reason why you have a lot of college basketball players not leaving the college basketball on the women's side to go to the WNBA, and I know that from speaking knowledge, there are kids in college basketball that are getting close to $1 million in NIL. Why would they leave to go to the WNBA to make $75,000?
Maybe the WNBA has to follow the NIL scale and do something that way. Because if anything, it makes more sense for the pros to get the money than in college. But let's stick with the pros. I want to go back to the NBA because we do have the Eastern and Western Conference Finals coming up tomorrow and Wednesday. You had stuff on the Knicks that you were looking ahead to in the market. First, Karl Anthony Towns to have the most points in the series with the Indiana Pacers. That's interesting, Coach. How come Cat's going to have a huge series?
Well, Ariel, you go look at the stats. Karl Anthony Towns averaged 30.3 points per game versus the Indiana Pacers in this regular season. And I don't look at anyone on Indiana that's going to be able to stop him. I think you put someone like Pascal Siakam, he's too small. And I think, honestly, at the end of the day, Miles Turner, as much trash as he talks, he don't want that smoke. So Karl Anthony Towns, who actually would score. And if you think of the other side, Naismith, right, Nemrard, McConnell, Rick Carlisle's going to throw guys at Jalen Brunson to get the ball out of his hands. I actually like Karl Anthony Towns. It's about, I think it's 4-1, 5-1 to lead the series in most total points. Remember, folks, it's not points per game. It's total points in case there is some kind of injury.
The Knicks also have home court, so for them to be able to be at home, the Knicks numbers do look better at home offensively. Yet defensively for Josh Hart, you're looking at him for most rebounds in the series. That's interesting. That's got to be a decent payout.
Yeah, it's about 4-1, 5-1. It's kind of moved down a little bit, Ariel, when I saw it. I think it was at 6-1 yesterday. Here's why. I kind of was thinking about this with the series with Boston, right? But Porzingis was not himself, and he did not play a ton.
He wasn't breathing. I was so annoyed with him.
Yes, he was not breathing. It did not look good, and let's hope he gets well. Jason Tatum gets well. But I got to say, the whole bullshit about Jaylen Brown being hurt and you saying it. Can we stop announcing guys, oh, they played through this injury after they get knocked out of the playoffs? Can we tell us while it's happening? Kind of seems a little bit like a cop-out. I'll get off my soapbox there. But
I'm going to put you back on it after you analyze this, but continue.
But when you talk about Josh Hart, one, Ariel, he's a rebounding demon. Usually they put him on the worst guard, the one that can kind of fly in and go get the rebound. He has the ability to get the rebound and lead the break. But here's the biggest part. Karl Anthony Towns is going to put up big numbers. He's going to be guarded by Miles Turner. Miles Turner is a pick-and-pop three-point shooting big. So that means a lot of times Cat can be out of position, right? Then you have to look at the fact that corner three with Pascal Siakam, if they go double big with Mitchell Robinson and Cat, it gives Josh Hart the ability to fly in and get the rebound. It's paying 5-1. Hey, I'm not telling you put your mortgage payment. I'm not telling you put your 529 plan for your kid's college fund. Just saying a couple of bucks. Josh Hart, most rebounds in the series.
Interesting. I like the payouts. I want to go back to the injuries you were talking about in the playoffs real quick. Aaron Gordon had the hamstring injury. We didn't know his status going into Game 7 against OKC. He comes out after the game, after Denver loses. Gordon says, I wish we had more than one day in between games. I'm sorry. It's been this way for forever. Major League Baseball players play 3 games in a row. You're in the playoffs, dude. Like, man up. It really annoyed me hearing Aaron Gordon try to make an excuse because he got hurt. His hamstring hurt him. What, one day extra is going to help your hamstring, bro? No, it's not, because hamstring injuries, like Steph Curry said, are very difficult to deal with. It's the playoffs. I mean, like, aside for football, everyone only really gets a day off in between if you play basketball.
There's just the problem with the NBA, Ariel, is they're wildly inconsistent in what they do. Think about this. Game number 7 of the Western Conference Finals was Sunday. Well, why are the Eastern Conference Finals on Wednesday? Unless there's a concert at MSG that we don't know about, right? The Western Conference Finals are starting on Tuesday. That doesn't make sense. I will say this about Aaron Gordon. I think there should be an extra day of rest, ready, only as they change cities, particularly between games 2 and 3.
So 2 days off between changing
games
cities.
2 and 3. I don't know if I would do it for every game after. The problem with the NBA is the NBA goes 2-2, 1-1-1. Back in the day, they used to go 2-3-2. So if it was 2-3-2, right, I would say give them an extra day off for a travel day, right? But to me, I think the only time you do that, play game 1, day off, game 2, then go day off, game 3, and play it that way. The only time I maybe give you an extra day is when you change cities for 2 games. I wouldn't do it just for 1.
I think it was an insane comment. You're getting paid millions of dollars. Man up. It's the playoffs. This is what you play your entire year for. Getting that extra day off is not the reason you lost. You lost because you lost, and OKC has been amazing this year. We've got the conference finals all set. You've got OKC going up against Minnesota. You've got the Knicks going up against the Pacers. Who's going to the NBA Finals, Coach?
Well, it's very easy for me to pick with my heart, and I should pick with my head. That's okay. I'm picking with my heart. The Knicks are going to the NBA Finals. I think the Knicks go to the NBA Finals in 7 games. I think it's going to be a fantastic series. I'm just giving the Knicks the advantage because of home court. I know they lost and gave 130 points last year in Game 7, but you got to remember that game, Mitchell Robinson was out, Julius Randle was out, Josh Hart had the abdominal issue, OJ Anunoby tried to gut it out, then obviously Jalen Brunson broke his hand during, the second quarter of the game. So I think the Knicks find a way to get there in 7.
It's a revenge spot.
It's a revenge spot. It's a revenge spot for a hated rivalry that if people are not from Indiana or New York, we fucking hate the Pacers. And anybody that's a Pacer fan, don't talk to me until the series is over. And if the Pacers win, don't talk to me till the start of next season.
Sean thinks that it's bad juju that the Knicks fans attack the Pacers fan.
I think the only thing worse than that is the fans that were win after Wendy walking to the hotel. Like you guys are gonna throw stuff and cuss out Brian Windhorst just because he's wrong? I mean, shit, he's wrong a lot, and I don't get after him about that. So that's okay. But but listen, as much as I can't stand Tyrese Halliburton, shout out to Tyrese for flying that fan out. He's gonna fly the fan out for Game 4. As much as I can't stand you, I like that. I think it's a class move by Tyrese to take care of that fan. Western Conference, I'm going to be a little bit contrarian. I'm going to be a little bit different. I think this is over in 5. I think this is a bad matchup for Minnesota. Bad. Minnesota was able to capitalize on both the Lakers and the Warriors due to their size and their ability to defend. Well, you got a team that's just as big, better defensively, and got way more offensive firepower they can hit you with, and they got the home court advantage. Give me the Oklahoma City Thunder. Ready? Go minus 1.5 games. I wouldn't mind if you went minus 2.5 games at plus money. They get this in 5, maybe 6, but I like them in 5.
Well, it tells you by the odds. When you look at the odds and you see that the Knicks are only favored at minus 148 over the Pacers to win the series, then you look at the Thunder, they're minus $3, like minus 340. I saw minus 350 to win the series. That's a huge discrepancy for a conference final.
Yeah, it is. And it's obviously because of the fact that Oklahoma City has been the best team in the NBA. I know Sean in the chat just said he calls upset Minnesota. He did make one point that you could look at is you could get he's going Minnesota. You can get a gentleman sweep here. Ready? If you want to try and get it at a better number, maybe you get a little bit of a rest fatigue or emotional high of Game 7. Maybe OKC, who did drop Game 1 to Denver, maybe let them drop Game 1 and then jump on OKC. Then you'll obviously get it at a much better number if Minnesota is up 1 game to 0.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. I think the Knicks are going to the NBA Finals, and it has nothing to do with basketball. If the Pacers play either team from the Western Conference Finals, the NBA is going to jump off the GW bridge. They will hate that NBA Finals. It has been an amazing NBA playoff. I've had a lot of fun watching it. It's been entertaining ever since the first round. I mean, we have seen great basketball.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
If it's Minnesota and OKC, one of those two, especially OKC versus the Pacers, as much as from a basketball perspective, we know that OKC has been the best, a random Joe Schmo who doesn't really tune into basketball is probably not watching that. But if you've got New York City, you don't care who the hell's on the other side of that Western Conference Finals.
Well, a Knicks team that hasn't been to the NBA Finals since 1999, hasn't won a championship since 1973. Folks, I know Boston fans, you good player, you guys are so. Do you understand how bad the fucking Knicks have been for the last quarter century? Like, let us have this moment. If the Knicks win the Eastern Conference Finals, it's going to be worse. And my good friend Ariel, who lives in New York City, I'm telling baby girl now, if the Knicks win the title, you better get out of the city. They may burn that bitch down. I'm telling you, they've been talking about building a new arena for MSG. The fans may give them a head start if they win it in New York City.
I was on 7th Ave after they won the series, and I never felt more unsafe. I feel safer in the Bronx when the Yankees go to the World Series than I did in Midtown. It was mayhem.
And I think I'll leave you with this, Ariel. I don't think people understand this, right? Like, when you think about sports, right, in New York City, okay, Yankees, Mets, let's say it's 60-40 Yankees to Mets fans in New York City, right? So you have that. The only teams, hockey, not enough people care, right? Football, it's probably 65-35 Giant Jet. But who gives a flying fuck about the Nets? It's a Knicks town. It's a basketball city. If the Knicks win a title, holy shit, be someone. I'm telling you, public service announcement. If the Knicks win the title and you're in New York City, good luck. Coach Young will be nowhere near the city. I'm in the Jersey Shore, and I may go down to South Jersey because I'll be so scared for my life if the Knicks win the title.
Yeah, that'll be a hell of a parade. Coach, thank you so much for coming on. I got to go talk some baseball now, but appreciate you so much. I will definitely be bringing you on a lot more throughout this summer because we're going to talk NBA. We've got to talk WNBA. Everyone in the chat absolutely loved your WNBA talk. I'll see you soon, and good luck tonight.
Thanks, Ariel. Everybody have a good night.